You ever try to quit a bad habit and feel like your own brain is sabotaging you? That's because it is. In this video, we're going inside the machine tracing the actual signals. Once you see how it really works, you'll be ready to change the wiring. So you're walking down the street and lo and behold, there's a donut shop. You smell it, that's the cue. So what happens in your brain? Well, your brain has about 80 billion neurons, but we are going to zoom in on just 3. Here we are. On the left is your trigger neuron, and these two on the right are decision neurons. If the top one gets active, you'll go get that donut. If the bottom one fires, you'll just keep walking. Notice these synapses between them? The thickness here shows how strong the signal is. Right now the top connection is larger, that's the habit. The donut path is more practiced, more reinforced. So let's go ahead and run it. First, your trigger neuron fires. It starts producing glutamate, which is the main excitatory neurotransmitter in your brain. Now glutamate starts traveling towards the decision neurons. Because the top synapse is stronger, glutamate gets larger and almost pops the balloon. But not quite. We don't have any decision. Why? It might seem strange at first, but you don't want it yet. And that's where dopamine comes in. It's vital in making decisions. This has been shown experimentally. Rats with dopamine blocked literally died of starvation even with food in front of them. So let's unfreeze your brain, add a bit of dopamine, and see what happens next. You're walking, smell the donuts, but this time something's different. Along with the trigger neuron, your dopamine system kicks in too. The glutamate behaves like before, but just look at the dopamine. It shifts the threshold. You don't need as much glutamate to fire the donut neuron anymore. Pop goes the balloon and the neuron fires. You head straight into the shop. That's your habit in action. Fully automatic. So how do we break it? Well, up to now, we have just been running the wiring. You haven't had much say in the matter. Now let's add something that can intervene. Executive control. Willpower. Here comes your willpower neuron. It connects directly to the keep walking decision path, giving it a little extra boost. Today your willpower meter is full, maybe you gave yourself a pep talk, maybe you watched a motivational video, so now when the smell hits, 3 neurons activate, the trigger, the dopamine system, and your willpower circuit. Glutamate floods in from both the trigger and your conscious intent. Together they are finally enough to activate the lower decision neuron. You walk past the donut shop. Success, right? Sort of. You probably felt this before. You walk away proud, but a moment later a delayed spike hits the donut neuron and you think, if I was still standing in front of that shop, I don't know if I would resist. But you're not, you're already moving, and that's enough, for now. But did we break the habit? Not even close. You see, willpower is like a battery, and batteries drain. Next day, same situation, but this time your willpower is lower. Maybe you're tired or stressed or did not sleep well. Now, the boost from your willpower neuron is weaker. The keep walking pathway loses and the donut pathway wins again. That pep talk yesterday, it did not change the wiring. It was a manual override, a patch. And like any patch, it did not stick. But if you're thinking that your willpower battery is not the champion either, consider this. You probably do not have less willpower than someone who gets up at 5 AM to run marathons and write bestsellers. They just have different wiring. Decisions don't come from willpower, they come from reinforced pathways. And right now, the donut pathway is just stronger. So can we flip the balance? Well, yeah, we just need one more ingredient: reward. So what kind of reward can you give yourself in that moment? It does not need to be big. A breathwork pause, a song you enjoy a lot. Well, for me, I use a mental nasal inhaler, specifically reserved for these moments. Never for anything else, otherwise it becomes its own bad habit. Let's run the process one more time. We will need full willpower again. It's still very important to initiate the change, but also, this time after resisting the donut, you give yourself that reward. Your body starts producing a mix of internal chemicals, mainly opioids and endocannabinoids. These feel-good molecules amplify the dopamine response. Now let's introduce another dopamine neuron. This one doesn't fuel craving, it adjusts your wiring. It checks the synapses and asks, did a signal just pass through here that led to a successful outcome? If yes, it reinforces that path. It tells the system, hey, that was good. Let's see more of that next time. So all the synapses grow a little, but the one tied to your new decision grows the most. You probably noticed the donut pathway got reinforced too, even though you did not choose donut. This is cross-contamination. It's part of why bad habits are so damn sticky. You would think that making the right choice and feeling good about it would only strengthen the good path. But no. You see, the dopamine system is automatic. It just follows the basic rules. It does not know. Let's go one more time. Because the better pathway is way stronger now, even a little nudge is enough to tip the decision in your favor. Sure, there's still more at play: environment, emotions, context. But now that you understand how the wiring works, you're not fighting blind. Good luck!